Hello everyone, my name is Shana Begum and I am a pioneer for Save Lives. So pioneer meaning I use my lived experience to make a change, whether it's policy, systems change, or inputting my experience into training. So with your permission, if we time travel into the past, my life is full of domestic abuse, honor-based abuse, forced marriages, even being a child bride. So it's a very, very dark place. However, I've transformed my life with the right community support and the right people who have come into my life. Honor-based abuse still exists. People are still being married off. Child brides still do exist today. And it's fantastic that we do have this legislation where with parental consent, you are not allowed to be married off. However, training and confidence in the community to challenge is still not as good as it can be. Let me make one thing very, very clear. Honor-based abuse, love is nothing got to do with it. I mean, you could love your family, your child, your daughter very much and still try to take her life. Because when you are born into, and society has created, we call it a social construct where honor, izzat, is greater than life. Remember that it's greater than life. Then you somehow you feel pressured that you do not have any other choice but to remove that person from the planet, basically, because they want to be westernized. So even though it's very, very wrong in our eyes, it's something that collectively certain society has accepted. So it might be very, very difficult to challenge. I remember when I was a child being abandoned abroad and forced into a marriage and not really wanting to be married, but knowing that I had to because I didn't have a choice. Even explaining that I didn't know it's domestic abuse. I didn't know it was honor-based abuse. I didn't know it was a forced marriage. I didn't know we were spoon-fed coercive control from a young age, but something in my gut did feel it was wrong. But if you don't know the words, you're very, very vulnerable. And the thing about being a victim of honor-based abuse, there's additional vulnerabilities because those people who are supposed to love you and nurture you do love you. However, izzat is greater and they will sacrifice you or take your life should they need to in order to preserve their honor, because remember, honor is greater than life in certain people's belief systems. So that is what needs to be challenged. And with the additional vulnerability and multiple perpetrators, how can you tackle such a huge thing as honor-based abuse? And we have come a long way. We have come a huge way. However, honor-based abuse, forced marriages, child brides, they still exist. So it's really, really important that we top up our training. And this is why I'm a huge advocate for Save Lives. We do need to challenge, but challenge in a compassionate way where we do not alienate. Because sometimes we think we've come such a long way and domestic abuse and honor-based abuse doesn't exist. It does. It's just under the radar a bit more. The way we're pressuring and coercing people into forced marriages or even domestic abuse, it's different. So again, please be confident. Don't think it's a cultural thing. Honor-based abuse happens across the spectrum. There's some strict Catholic communities it happens in. Traveler communities it happens in. It's not just the Asian thing. So it's really, really important that we top up our training. Check out Save Lives training. It's on the link somewhere. And thank you for hearing a snippet of my story.